Welcome to the Inspire series. I am beyond excited to have this amazing man, Edward Zia, with me. Good morning, Edward.
Pleasure being here. And I've got to say, I'm so humbled to be talking to a star of the Australian series Blue Healers.
So you all can tell this man is always for other people. Always for other people. I'm going to have a battle, I think, today to be able to get him to talk about anything about himself, because this man's got a huge, massive, ginormous heart for other people, and he is constantly serving other people in absolutely every area of his life. So, Edward, tell me, what has been a silver lining or something beautiful that's happened to you because of the lockdown?
Well, it's funny. Three things have happened to me that have been really great on the lockdown. Number one, way closer to my family than what I was pre-lockdown, which is incredible. The second thing that I love is I'm actually more efficient and we're actually getting more clients because I'm not spending all this time traveling. And the third thing is that my stress levels are way lower now than pre-lockdown.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love it. And so, Edward, who has been like a really big inspiration in your life?
Well, I've always been a Scott Morrison fan, but in particular, it was during Corona that ScoMo really got me. I'll tell you what it is that the moment Corona began, he really came in and took charge, and he's brought this level of positivity and optimism to it that I think few leaders from across the world have. A lot of leaders from across the world have given a real vision of doom and gloom and Corona is your fault. Whereas Scott Morrison didn't do that. Scott Morrison has made everyone part of the solution. So yes, he's had to do some crazy things such as do lockdown to protect lives. However, his solution and his positivity in such strong times have been admirable. And again, I haven't seen any other world leaders bring the optimism to the table like Scott Morrison has.
Yeah, and I think he has this perpetual sort of calm about him, which I think is very reassuring.
Spot on, Dale. He brings this level of master persuasion and influence calmness to the situation, which is absolutely incredible. And I think it's definitely, he is the right man for the right time without question. And I think the reason why I find him such a source of inspiration in our current times is, as you said before, Dale, the calmness that he brings is very admirable. And that influenced my own influencer journey. So as part of my own influencer work, Scott Morrison's actually been a key source of recent influence to what I'm doing in that regard.
Fantastic. I love it. And so do you think that's because you are so high energy and full on, do you think it's brought a calm to you?
Oh, very well put. I couldn't have said it better myself. Because one of my biggest problems in life is I've always been a stress head, and it's a trait of mine I've never liked. And only recently, ironically, it was actually the Corona season that helped me become a calmer character. Ironically, because it created that awareness in myself where it's sort of like, I'm sick of being a stress head. It's not me anymore. I just don't want to have any part of it. And then as I saw the ScoMo influence kick in and I sort of, promoted that and worked with that, I thought I need to be more like this cool cat to become the real successful influencer I need to be. So that influence from Scott Morrison could not have come at a better time for me. And I'm sure a lot of people watching as well.
We're very happy to play to our strengths. And when our strengths go well, we tend to play to them more, but then they become a liability. And it's that real thing of being able to stretch yourself into areas which aren't your strengths to create a balance.
If stressing out is one of your weaknesses, that's not something you want to ignore. That's something you want to work on and deal with. Okay. And in fact, not dealing with it can lead to very serious health complications. In fact, on that, the Zoom we were on last night, Dale, for the sake of the audience, we're on that awesome Zoom last night. Remember that nice lady from the UK that told us her story? She, had a nervous breakdown 5 or 6 years ago. She couldn't even drive a car. And she couldn't even put a sentence together. And I'll tell you now, that would have come from years and years and years of her ignoring her weakness.
I think Australians can be incredibly resourceful, and that's an awesome thing. But at the same time, reaching out and to the right people, but you won't know who the right people are until you start reaching out to some people.
It's like winners attract winners. And the more incredible people we're surrounded, one of the reasons why I love LinkedIn so much over all the other social media platforms, LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to connect with so many exceptional people. So what happens is whenever you have a problem in life, you don't have to sit there and jump into your ego and deal with it yourself. You can sit there and go, well, I've got a problem in this area. Oh, I can talk to this person, or that person. So and as we always say, the old saying is, your network is your net worth, right? We've had this conversation many times off camera. It's like that. It doesn't just mean you're going to make money and get a client. It could be if you've got a problem, you can reach out to that person, okay? And it's very important to do that. And it's the ego that gets in the way of us reaching out to people, because like talking is obviously as a man, it's like me, man, me strong, me have no problems. No, that's just ego talking. That's just a load of rubbish. You got to say, hey, I've got a problem here. I'm going to reach out to Dale to help me solve this problem. Let's say I was underconfident. People should reach out to you to develop those nerves of steel and get over that.
When was a time where you reinvented yourself?
Is when I was a homeless veteran. So it was just when in my late 20s, early 30s, I was homeless, living in my car. And that was actually the big time I reinvented myself and reinvented my whole life. That was more one of the fundamental shifts. There from memory, about 8-10 months, I was living in that situation. And that gave me a lot of thinking time. And it was actually that process that I reinvented myself. So even though I was homeless and I did make some mistakes, I did not want to go back to my old life. That was definitely not the solution. So, and I actually said this at the time, and I say this again over a decade later. If, someone came to me and said, Ed, I can undo all this and put you back to where you were. No, leave me in my car. I'm much better right now than where I was then. So that was an opportunity for reinvent myself. And it was funny. I didn't use the word influencer because influencer wasn't really in common language then. But I actually said to myself when I was living in my car, I thought, I'd love to become some kind of global speaker motivator, some kind of coach. And so it was actually that experience that gave me that insight. And that's what led to where I am now. And with the awesome Dale, who starred on Blue Heelers, which is one of my favorite shows ever.
And you and I are Christian. And so it's a time where we can look to God, and then God can show us, actually, this is the path that I planned for you all along.
Exactly. So in my mid-20s is when I found God. Right? And it was very important for me. And just for the sake of our wonderful audience, I'm a Christian. I love Jesus, fully respectful of everyone's faith here. So there are many different paths to the same God. So I just want to say that in respect to anyone listening on the other end. Now, the thing is for me, in finding God and being a person of faith, is that what I realized, it was that faith in God that helped me reprogram my life and become the global influencer today. And dive into your faith, because that's where a lot of your, not just success for you, but success for your family and your community will come from.
I just feel so blessed to know you and to have you as part of my life. And so I'd just like to do a huge thank you. And Edward Zia, have an awesome day.
Dale, it's a pleasure. And everyone watching, Dale's an amazing speakers and communication coach. So if you haven't hired her yet, please do. You're going to absolutely love it.
Thank you so much, Edward. Take care. Bye.